King Charles presides over most expensive monarchy, real cost allegedly exceeds £635 million. Welcome back, royal watchers, to Crown Chronicles, your home for the most gripping, untold, and eye-opening stories from inside the world's most famous monarchy. If you love deep dives into secrets behind palace walls, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and join our growing royal community, because today's story is one you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Now, let's dive into a revelation that has sent shockwaves through Britain, rattled taxpayers, and raised eyebrows across the Commonwealth. Because according to a wave of new analysis and insider reports, King Charles III is now presiding over what many are calling the most expensive monarchy in modern history, with the real annual cost exceeding a staggering £635 million. And the question on everyone's mind is simple: how did we get here? And more importantly, why is it costing so much? What you're about to hear isn't just a breakdown of numbers, it's a story about legacy, power, public opinion, and the delicate balancing act between tradition and transparency. It's a story that reveals how the royal machine truly works behind the scenes, and why the monarchy's cost today may be higher than anything we've seen before. To understand why this revelation is such a thunderbolt, we have to rewind to the promise that came with Charles's accession to the throne. When Queen Elizabeth II passed, King Charles stepped in with a mission: a more slimmed-down monarchy, a more modern royal family, a more sustainable system. He spoke about reducing excess, trimming unnecessary expenses, and making the monarchy appear more aligned with the realities of modern Britain. The public applauded, commentators praised, and Westminster hoped that this new chapter would begin with a message of financial responsibility. But fast forward to today, and we are seeing something remarkably different. Reports now suggest that when you factor in security costs, property maintenance, staff salaries, ceremonial events, travel, and the enormous expenses tied to the royal estate, the true cost of the monarchy has ballooned dramatically. Official numbers often hover around £86 million for the sovereign grant, but insiders insist that is only a small fraction of the truth. The real figure, according to critics and researchers, may now exceed £635 million, making this the most expensive era of the monarchy in generations. So what changed? How did the monarchy get more expensive at a time when it was expected to become more efficient? Part of the answer lies in the sheer size and complexity of the royal estate. The palaces, Buckingham, Windsor, Balmoral, Sandringham, Holyrood House, are not just residences, they are historical landmarks requiring constant, expensive maintenance. Buckingham Palace alone is undergoing a decades-long refurbishment costing hundreds of millions. And even though Charles has tried to make the estate more eco-friendly and modern, the cost of maintaining centuries-old architecture is astronomical. Then there is security, the silent giant behind royal spending. With rising global tensions, increased activism, and a new era of digital threats, royal protection has become more intense than ever. Prince William, Princess Catherine, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, every member of the immediate line of succession requires round-the-clock monitoring. Armored vehicles, trained specialists, and technology that costs millions per year. And now, with Charles traveling more frequently as king and carrying out far more high-profile engagements, his security budget alone has reportedly escalated. Another layer to this financial puzzle comes from royal staffing. From private secretaries to gardeners, chefs, drivers, equerries, event coordinators, archivists, curators, press officers, the machinery of the monarchy is huge. Despite efforts to streamline, Charles's vision of a more active, visible monarchy has actually required more work behind the curtain, not less. Every public appearance is an operation. Every state event is a production. Every image, every speech, every diplomatic visit is meticulously coordinated, and we cannot ignore the effect of inflation, rising energy costs, and economic instability across the UK, all factors that have quietly pushed palace spending higher and higher. But the most fascinating part of this story isn't just the expenses, it's the public reaction. Because British taxpayers are asking louder than ever, why are we paying so much? Where is the transparency? And is the monarchy still worth its price tag in 2025? supporters argue that the monarchy brings in billions through tourism, cultural influence, and diplomatic stability. They insist that the cost is insignificant compared to the institution's value. But critics say that in a country battling a housing crisis, rising poverty, overstretched hospitals, and shrinking public services, spending over £500 million on a royal institution feels painfully outdated. And then there's the political angle. The government, caught between tradition and pressure, has repeatedly stated it has no intention of reforming or reducing the monarchy's place in the British Constitution. Yet behind closed doors, ministers are growing uneasy. A monarchy costing this much during a cost-of-living crisis is not an easy narrative to defend, even within the royal family. Whispers suggest that Charles is concerned. His vision of a leaner monarchy is slipping through his fingers. And the pressure to restore public confidence is mounting. William, eager to protect the future throne, reportedly wants a more transparent financial model. Meanwhile, critics think Harry and Meghan's departure has only made the workload heavier for those left behind, increasing the demand for staff, security, and investment in public appearances. All of this has created a moment unlike any we've seen before, a monarchy standing at a crossroads, with its finances under more scrutiny than ever, and its future direction more uncertain than the palace wants to admit. But here's the twist: while the cost is skyrocketing, the monarchy's popularity is simultaneously dipping. Younger generations are questioning the need for a royal family altogether. Older generations feel betrayed by the financial mismanagement. And across the world, Commonwealth nations are moving toward independence at a pace that would have shocked the Victorian era. So as King Charles presides over the most expensive monarchy in modern British history, the question becomes, is this the beginning of a financial reckoning? Or simply a sign that the monarchy must evolve faster than ever before? Only time will tell. What we can say is that the truth behind these figures is reshaping the conversation around royalty. And with every revelation, the divide between tradition and modernity grows a little wider. Thank you for watching Crown Chronicles, where we uncover the stories others gloss over. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. Do you believe the monarchy is worth the price? Or is change long overdue? Stay tuned. More royal revelations are on the way.